Tuhin is recognized for scaling high-performance R&D cultures and bridging technical precision with human-centric innovation. At the India AI Impact Summit, Tuhin focused on the last mile human story, focusing on healthcare and AI for the public good. Tuhin applies first principles thinking to ensure AI solutions directly address the lived experiences and societal challenges of the community. Tuhin, I'm interested to know about the last mile human story. Hope you'll cover
Yeah,
it in your session. Yes.
absolutely. Thanks again for arranging this. Beautifully done. And thanks a lot for having me. As I said in the beginning, I think my fellow speakers have covered a lot of great stuff, and I'm going to definitely focus on the human side of it. I'm a very passionate human-centric leader, and I, of course, do technology. That's my bread and butter as well. To start with, to begin with, I think there is a very famous line in India that we talk about where we call it "Kitna deti hai." Most of you know about this line, right?
Yeah.
So the whole summit was benchmarked around this. Everybody who came with some flashy number, everybody who came with some flashy, comments or claims, everybody was asked brutally, directly, how good your solution is. Show me on the ground. Show me the data. And then I'll also take you through some of the areas where there are new terms that were formed as part of this summit. One is token economics. I'm pretty sure some of the IITs have actually built a model where each and every token they're connecting it to a ESG parameters. Gurpreet, you asked about this question. So there are sessions where literally each and every line getting translated, how much gallon of water it will take, how much wattage of electricity it will burn. And based on that, that's how we, as an Indian community, will accept your solution or may not accept your solution. So solutioning is not enough. It has to be good at the same time. And similarly, there are a lot of other aspects where very hard, blunt questions were asked. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a bit of it. Before that, my core matter of the area that I expertise in, that is healthcare. I'm a healthcare IT leader. So I looked at the conference from that lens. As my fellow speaker said, there are many different sessions. All were pretty good. It was a problem of plenty, to be honest with you. We tried our best. I mean, I talked to Shailaja, I talked to fellow speakers like Mukesh. So we kind of spread out across. We tried to theme it across so that we can get the best out of the entire thing. So to start with, let's again focus on a human story, right? In the photo that you are seeing here, most of you would have understood, this is a ASHA worker. Okay. And today I'm going to explore how cutting edge technology is being aligned with real community health needs. I'll focus on three key initiatives. One of them is SAHI, which stands for Strategy for Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare for India. These are all new strategies, by the way, unveiled by our Honorable Health Minister on the summit itself. And then both benchmarking open data platform for health AI. This is an IIT Kanpur initiative. I loved it. And the ABHA, which is Ayushman Bharat Health Account. This is not quite there in the summit itself, but I'll see how it will play a big role in creating probably the most robust ecosystem in the world going forward for healthcare. And then how we're advancing accessible and equitable care across India, which I care for. I mean, if AI is only serving a particular segment of the society or the big boys, well, that's to me that's not going to be very personally appealing unless it's going and serving somebody who is underserved. And the image reflects our vision here today. Frontline workers like ASHAs, those of you who are not familiar with ASHA, they stand for Accredited Social Health Activist, using technology to deliver quality care in rural and underserved areas. And I'll discuss how AI can drive inclusion, ensuring innovation benefits those who need it most. Okay, so let me move on to the. This is one fictitious maybe ASHA worker, Mani Devi. She is doing something on her smartphone or smart tablet. Now, if I tell you that ASHA workers just gets 23 days to get onboarded, okay? And now they have something called ASHA Bot, which uses GPT-4 with RAG, grounded for 40 curated public health sources. This app is delivered through WhatsApp and it's completely voice driven, right? Because a lot of our ASHA workers may even have challenges in typing their queries as well. So this is a great, fascinating story of how you are seeing things are changing, how it is looking great, right? Okay, now I'll pull you down to the ground reality. Look at this particular incident. Okay, this is a 2025 case, by the way. This happened in somewhere in Punjab, probably Chandigarh. It was reported from Chandigarh. Okay, so there was a high-tech clinic, and they were doing diabetic retinopathic screening. Okay, the models that they were using, they were 99.6% accurate. Like most of the time, it will whether you have the diabetic retinopathy or not. Look at the other number on the site. So there are a lot of people who got diagnosed with diabetic retinopathy, and only 9 out of the 64 referred patients to the bigger hospitals actually turned up. Now, my question to audience is, tell me how AI is going to solve this problem, right? How we are going to solve the problem where it's the problem with the awareness, with distance, transport, broken referrals. So the detection alone won't close the gaps. So the algorithm and the technology is not the solution here. And this is where my talk begins, where I focus on 3 different aspects throughout this summit, which I personally believe is really going to do a great job in solving a lot of problems that we see today. I'll try to be brief. I know we are already out of time. So, starting with this, SAHI and both launch. Now, these are 2 frameworks we're talking about. SAHI, as I told you, Strategy for Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare for India. SAHI is a 7 principle governance framework on the AI lifecycle itself. So, I'll talk about it more in the next slide. And then there comes both privacy preserving national AI validation platform. So, once something, I mean, you would have heard of this word called AI wash. So that can we just create anything and put AI to it and it gets sold somehow, right? So that won't happen going forward, at least in the healthcare space. So both is a privacy preserving national AI validation platform. It is built by IIT Kanpur along with National Health Agency under ABDM. Okay. And I'll again briefly touch upon this. So photograph is a live photograph that I took while the session was getting launched just before the starting of the sessions, and we have our honorable minister, Central Health Minister, Mr. JP Naddaji, present in that podium. Now, let's quickly have a glance on this SAHI governance architecture. And I want you to focus on this word that I've put in. Okay. It has 7 pillars: trust, people first, innovation, fairness and equity, accountability, explainability or understandability, safety, and resilience. Those of you who are from the tech world, I'm pretty sure will be fairly disappointed looking at this. And those of you who are not will be more hopeful that somebody is talking sense. This doesn't talk anything about AI, about which DPT models, how many tokens, how many, what kind of infrastructure. It just talks of first principles. These are the things that we need in whatever we build. Then it also talks about life cycle coverages. So if I have an app today, if I want to get that to the ground, what are the things I'm going to do? I'm going to define it. I'm going to put my data strategy. I'm going to put my development. I'm going to validate. I'm going to deploy. I'm going to continuously monitor, update, and retire. And during every stage, all the 7 pillars are important. So if you are doing, say, validation, you cannot say, I am not going to be adhering to the data policies and all that. It is chill, right? So I can always take some chances. That's not done. Okay. So this is what the policy says. So let's now move on. And sorry for moving pretty fast. It is about both. Now, if you see here, I've put a quote from Professor Manindra Agarwal, director of IIT Kanpur, where he specifically mentioned that how both is different from some of the other test tools in the AI space, where the data, they have put the maximum focus on the data privacy, because it's all going to be PHI, patient healthcare information, right? And in general, those of you, especially from tech world, or even from common sense, if there is something that covers well, if the coverage is good, the reliability may not be great, right? And the openness also might not be great. Similarly, if it is too reliable, your circle of influence may not be great, so your coverage comes down, and the openness also may not be great. And if you want to make it everything open, then the other problems carrying. So what this particular framework has done, it has done everything together for coverage. It is taking national representative health dataset under ABDM governance to ensure models are tested on diverse real-world Indian population at care settings. For reliability, centrally governed private test dataset standard metrics provide third-party reproducible audit-ready evaluation instead of vendor claimed performance. Please mind this word, vendor claimed performance. In today's world, I'm not going to take the big names. Everybody says I'm going to replace everybody. I can do this. This framework is directly challenging you that it is going to challenge the vendor claim performance. Last one is openness. Now it's open access to benchmarking APIs, which lets even the hospitals, startups, and research test models on common standards without exposing the raw patient data, right? So what it is going to do, for those of you who are from the technical world, this is actually going to help you tune your model and give the right weightages. So your model's efficiency will go up. Okay. So this is all about both. Now, quickly moving on to the next one. And this one, I added this slide because I asked a question to our director and the secretary who maintains all our health IT systems, one of them being Cowen. During COVID time, you would have remember. And I said, sir, it looks great on paper. How are you going to make sure that things are going to be interoperable? Like if I'm going to one hospital and if I want to go to the other hospital, then I have to either carry a paper form and big file, or I have to get the same set of test of gen, wasting my hard-earned money because the other hospital has to do it again. What are you thinking about? Because I'm affluent enough to do that. The last mile person may not be able to do that. He or she will just drop the treatment altogether. So the answer came in is probably in the coming few sessions of the parliament, there is going to be ABHA ID that they are going to create. So this is going to be your, maybe you can call it as Aadhaar for your healthcare. This will be mandated for each and every person, and whichever healthcare provider you go, they will be asking it for it. It will be clearly guarded. Now it comes to the how it will be guarded in the next section. But essentially, it opens a Pandora's box where you are so interconnected that your data can be shared by other hospitals, and literally think like a Zomato-like platform. God forbid, one of you have your hand fracture, you can go and see for this particular fracture, which hospitals gives me the best rate, best treatment, best care. That's the future we're looking at. Okay. Now let's look at the integrated stack. This is my favorite slide, to be honest. Like, look at how these three things are going to cover you. So you have SAHI, which is telling how to do things. We have both, which is keeping you honest, and then ABHA is ensuring that everything is well connected, it's fully properly protected. You have all the control of your data. You are the owner of your data. However, your data is also being leveraged by the national policymakers in a scrubbed way so that your personal identification is not there, but they to know what policy or where they have to pull the data in. Okay. Now, with that, I kind of finish it here. This part of it, that the Mani Devi that we talked about, I'm pretty hopeful that she will be pretty happy to see what happens next, because she will be even more powerful, she will be even more connected, she can even talk better, and she can even serve our communities even better. Now at the moment, 30 extra seconds just to tell you the overall impact of this summit. As my fellow speaker said, look at these numbers. So we've got 5 lakh visitors, we've got 100 countries, we've got 15 heads of government, we have $250 billion of pledge of investment, and most importantly, $20 billion VC investment coming for deep tech investment. This is very important for a nation like India to move forward. The other part I that want to highlight is it's called People Summit. In fact, a US professor has termed it, which has already become viral. They're calling it AI Mahakumbh, right? And it is truly, in a sense, it is. As Sudhi said, in the first day, there were almost 2.5 lakh students who were given to take an oath on responsible AI. So can you imagine? This is unprecedented. And when I talk to Global South, including a lot of professors from University of Nairobi and other places, they're all looking up to India as their guiding factor. That they're looking at to India, that how we will be taking the next step, and based on that, they will do their next steps as well. And last but not the least, everything in this particular summit was extremely data driven. We had JPAL like labs who does social good researches with extreme data backed researches. And last but not the least, 86 nations signed the India AI Declaration. So I'll now stop myself. Thanks again. I know I've been very fast. Sorry for that. Do you have any questions? Please let me know. Thank you.